and here's an animated version of that. But the hard part that really goes into that is at the end of the day, we do have to come up with what's our take on all this. What's our philosophy on this that's not just what everyone else is talking about.
What's our point of view?
Yeah, what's our point of view? And, you know, our thought in that episode was, well, maybe she really wishes that all these people in the country weren't showing her image like this, you know, and that sort of became the whole
Now, when you won the Emmy, that was a big thing for you?
No.
Or not so much?
Football was on, so I didn't go.
I just say that. I wish. It sounds so late. It sounds so.
You didn't care.
Ungrateful.
Didn't care.
Well, we've been nominated 5 times.
Who did you have pick it up for you?
Our producers.
Our producers.
Who we're very happy for. We're very happy.
We're very happy for them. But you know, Trey and I get tons of accolades for the show, and we've been on, I think we've been nominated 5 times.
Yeah.
And
we always lose at the same.
We just always have lost.
Well, we should. Since this is a great show, but it's like, but what's funny too is that we're put on the what they call the crap night of the Emmys, which is really funny because people don't realize, before a week before the Emmys, there's another Emmys for all the shows that it's just like all the technical things, and for some reason, Best Animated Series is in that night, which is so ridiculous because The Simpsons is probably the biggest show in American history ever, and it's not on. It's on a crap night.
Well, I think we ought to be able to change that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
Maybe we should just have a whole night of prime time devoted to animated.
Yeah, I think
you'd
so.
buy that.
Yeah.
Now, here's what Tony Scott said. Tony writes for the New York Times, reviews movies. He said, "I know I'm not alone in confessing that my moral." I worry about this now. I worry that he says, I know I'm not alone in confessing that my moral and ideological guides for the past half-dozen years have included 4 foul-mouthed Colorado youngsters made out of torn construction paper. Without South Park, I would scarcely know what to think about issues like stem cell research, the Passion of the Christ, and the Pokemon craze. Now, you are educating America.
Yes, we're trying to stay ahead of the New York Times.
It's really what we've always said, and I think what we say with the show is not anything new, but I think it is something that is great to put out there, which is, the people screaming on this side and the people screaming on that side are the same people. And it's okay to be someone in the middle laughing at both of them.
Yes. So they'll get their education from you and their news from Jon Stewart.
Right. And all in all, at the end of the day, they'll be a little more Zen Buddhist. That's all right.
But we can't compete with we can't compete with the Jon Stewarts or the Jay. I mean, that's a different. The Jay Leno's, the Bill Maher's.
Mass media.
That's a different. Even though it's political and it deals with current events, it's just different. It's just a daily thing. And in the end of the day, those guys all have. You know where they're coming from.
Right. And
what we try to do on the show, what's important for like a narrative show where you're trying to tell stories, is we always try to make it feel like, where are those guys coming from? You know what I mean? And a lot of times we'll do shows with moral kind of points of view that we don't necessarily agree with.
It just makes a better story.
It just makes a better story.
The story's got to stay present.
That's right. It's what'll play.
Right, exactly. I mean, we got to make stories, We can't just make jokes. We got to make stories.
Right.
Do you think you have raised the bar in terms of what is acceptable?
For sure. I mean, it's interesting because we just I think we've lowered the bar.
We did something to the bar, but
it's really funny because it's been an interesting week for us because this week the South Park has gone out on syndication, which was a huge deal for us, obviously. Yes. But it's amazing because they're like, well, okay, now it's going out on all these other channels. Let's look at how much they have to cut out. And to watch the first season, they don't cut anything out, and it's on all these, and it's like, they don't have to cut out anything. And when we came out, people were like, oh my God, this is the end of the world.
Don't let your kids watch the show. It's the end. We got one review that it was the end of democracy.
Yeah,
this was 1998. Yeah. So the arrow is definitely going in the direction of us. We're definitely from the future.
You were a threat to democracy.
We threatened it, and here we go.
Everything we built in 1777, you're going to tumble down.
So we'd like to officially
teenagers from Colorado.
Yeah. I'd like to officially apologize for ending democracy.
That was our fault. Everyone's blaming George
Washington and Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and all of those.
It was us. Yeah, we blew it. It was going great for a while, but we blew it.
If you only do it week to week, I mean, do you have any idea where it might be, a year from now?
No, and that's the fun thing. I mean, that's why we have our first new episode airs on October 19th.
Right.
And as of right now, we have no idea even what that episode will be about. We haven't started it. We're not going to start it.
You're not going to start it until the week before?
We'll start it the week before. Because every time we try to start way before, I can't write, and we get too, thinking too much about it. And we realize, too, that's what something that happens is we get too much into what's our point, what are we trying to say, and we realize, wait, that's not our job. Our job is to make people laugh. And if it says something in the background, great, but it's not our job to go out and go.
Right now we're in an interesting dilemma because we have this reputation for attacking or talking about current events.
Right.
And we've both gotten dozens of emails about, can't wait to see what you guys do about Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
And we're in this dilemma because we think that would be we could make a great episode where a flood comes to South Park or,
Right.
some kind of natural disaster. But being the expectation that we're going to do it puts us in a weird position.
I just want to do something else.
I don't know if we're going to do it. I don't know if we're going to do it. Like, we want to mess with the expectation. And like, we always loved that we're both big Monty Python fans and watched it on PBS, at 10:30 at night in Colorado growing up on Channel 6. What I loved about Monty Python was every time you tuned in, you no idea where you were going.
Yeah.
And TV today is like,
Right.
are you going to watch tonight? They're going to do this, 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 and that's the way it's promoted. And we've always been like, we always like the South Park episodes where it starts here and then, you have no idea where you ended up. So we're in this weird kind of dilemma about Hurricane Katrina. We don't know what to do.
Have you been that way before at all?
No,
Is it the first
because
time
we've
it's ever
always
happened? I mean,
yeah, because it's never been expected. Now it's the,
if you could deal with Terry Schiavo, you can deal with.
Oh, we could do it. It's just that people are expecting it.
It's just a different
Whatever they're
thing.
expecting, you may not be able to reach it because they have such pronounced ideas.
And whatever they're expecting, we don't want to give them, because as soon as you give people what they're expecting, I just think then we're a sitcom.
People were blown away that we did a Terry Schiavo show. They didn't.
No.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that. But like the fact that everyone's like, I can't wait. They're going to tune in and see what they do about Hurricane Katrina. It's just a different. I don't know. It's a different way to.
Monty Python was both heroic for both of you.
Huge.
Oh yeah. That's the beginning and end of.
Have you seen Spamalot on Broadway? Or are you going to?
We haven't. I think we're going to go. Maybe.
I'm a little nervous too.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm such a huge fan that I'm
You may not want to go. You may not want to go.
A little worried. It's kind of like someone.
You know it's
messing
going
with
to
your-
Las Vegas.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Well, you've got to remember Eric created it, so therefore.
Absolutely.
And so the same writing sentiment.
Yes.
Is there. Politics. Are you a libertarian?
That's a great question.
What does that mean?
I think that there is a.
He believes in liberty.
Yeah, I believe in liberty.
Are you?
It's possible.
You're not going to put me down for this.
Yeah.
It's possible. Maybe.
Yeah. No, we did a South Park
Why
episode.
is he embarrassed by this?
I'm not embarrassed at all. It's just actually it's a difficult question because
Why is it difficult?
Because it's
It's like saying, are you?
It's like, are you gay? It's like a little. On a Friday night, maybe. There's no chick around, sure.
Imagine. On Friday.
You know, Charlie.
You know, Charlie, you know how it is.
Friday night. You're Friday night.
What the hell?
Nothing's on TV.
It's a really fascinating. We've always talked about how we grew up sort of. I think we were both Python fans, and we were both sort of punk rockers.
Right.
And we wanted to do a punk rock TV show. And when we were growing up, the way to be punk rock was to be really liberal, because we grew up with Reagan in high school and all of that, and then. But then we moved. The problem was we moved to L.A. and we did and then the only way to be punk rock in L.A. is to be a Republican because it's the only way. You're in a party. The only way is to be like, I think George Bush is awesome. Everyone's like, what? Just like and that really. I mean, it's amazing. And when we did Team America,
I've seen Trey do that before too.
Yeah.
You mean go into a party and say,
Just said it.
I think he's great.
Was in Malibu, and he just said, "I love George Bush and I love my gun." And this lady's face just melted. Her
face melted off.
It is like we've got this reputation. There was this book that came out called South Park Conservatives,
right?
Where and it was a label I think originally given by Andrew Sullivan. To the show, and I think there is a little bit of like libertarianism.
Is he your number one fan? There's some great quote about it.
Yeah, he's a big fan, and like he's written some really cool stuff about the show and Team America, the movie. But I think that some of we did grow up in Colorado, which is kind of a Republican